Notice is hereby given of a workshop of the Board of Directors of the district to be held at 105 Port Road, Port Isabel, Texas on the 10th day of December 2014 at the hour of 5 p.m. for the consideration of the business of the agenda below. This notice was posted at the office of the district on December 4th, 2014 at 11:45 a.m. in accordance with the Texas Opens Meeting Act, and a copy furnished to the county clerk at the Cameron County, Texas. The meeting is called to order. There is a quorum. Not in attendance is Mr. Whitey Thomas and Mr. Scott Friedman. Would everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll move on to item number 3 is discuss the district's new water and wastewater rate schedule for resolution number 112-10-14.
Sir, Mr. Chairman, we did some copies of the information, the 40% increase. I don't know how you would want to tackle this one, go about it, but you have copies of it, and
Okay. Well, we got copies in our packets of what our current rates are. We got copies in our packets of water and sewer charges. We also have a copy of. I would just like to announce.
I had a conversation with Dennis Frankie. He kept me on the line. He's happy.
I would just like to announce that the actual. The increase is not a 40% increase of the total bill. The increase is a 40% of the minimum. A 1-inch meter will increase a total of $12.83 a month. Okay, and it still keeps it 6,000 gallons per month. A 2-inch meter is proposed to increase a total of $74.15 per month, still keeping its 26,001 gallon minimum. A 4-inch meter will increase by a total of $216.91, still keeping its 101,000 gallon minimum. A 6-inch meter will increase $384 a month, still keeping its 1,001 gallon minimum per month. And the 8 and 10-inch meters, do we have any of those?
yeah, we have one of each.
We have one of each. Those will increase by a total of $496 a month, still keeping their 101,000 gallon minimum. Is there any discussion or any questions on the matter?
I don't know if am I allowed to ask?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm
Sure.
sorry.
Can you come up and state your name and ask a question?
Sure, I'm not here to
Sure.
question anything. I'm just here from the Port Isabel Press.
Ah, okay.
Oh,
all right. Ah,
Good.
you-
They asked me to come and just to, they thought that this might be like a hotly contested because of the rate increase. But you said it's not a 40% increase in the bill, it's a 40% increase in what?
Of the minimum charge.
Minimum charge.
Of
Sorry,
the
I didn't
minimum
catch that.
charge. So, you know, if it's just going to be like the figures I announced, if you can give her a copy of that.
Sure, we can.
She can maybe get a copy of the one you passed out.
So
I'm gonna give her a
the first
copy.
example that you gave, the 1-inch meter would be like a standard residential
This is
customer?
the increase,
No.
and this here, that's proposed, and this is existing right now.
Okay.
A standard
You can see-
residential customer goes with a 5/8-inch meters, and it will not increase.
Okay, so this is strictly affecting businesses?
Businesses or
Right, mostly it is businesses and irrigation meters.
Mr. Thomas, you have a question?
I would like to address the lady. Basically, what a 5/8 meter is a residential meter. And at this time, the pretty much base rate there is about $24 and change a month. Now, if you happen to live on the island or in anywhere you have a 2-inch meter, you take that and begin to break it out on a per unit basis. I built a lot of places that we have a 2-inch meter on 30 units. Has anybody got a calculator here?
I got one. Go ahead.
We're going to take 30 units on a 2-inch meter at $185.
185 divided by 30.
Divide it by 30, please,
So their minimum bill would be $6.16
per unit.
as opposed to a homeowner.
Now, would you multiply that times 1.4? I had the floor, sir.
Six.
Excuse me.
1.4, yes, sir. That comes up to $8.63.
And you at your home, if you live in a home, are
Yes, I
paying
do.
$24.25. We're taking their rate up on a per unit basis to what, $8 and what?
If a
About a
2-inch,
third of what you pay in a cottage
and it's not a charge per unit, it's a charge based on the meter.
meter.
Yes, on the meter size. That's all it is. For years, the district, the homeowners that have been paying the lion's share of the rates for the infrastructure of the district. This district, we're legally liable through by the TCEQ to Texas Commission of Environmental Quality. We're legally obligated to meet the peak daily demand of the
Water usage?
Of our usage.
Yeah.
And our peak daily demand is usually when everything is full. When the hotels are full, when the condos are full.
And that's mostly from spring break all the way to August, September, beginning.
Usually, yes, sir.
Yep, half a year.
And so for, like I said, for years, the homeowners have been paying the lion's share. The people with the 5/8 cents meters have been paying the majority of it.
So a lot of businesses are gonna be hit with much larger water bills is what you're basically,
It's not
No,
much larger, no.
no?
no, the usage is going to be the same. Right now, if you have a residence, and because you wanted enough volume to have a sprinkler system without paying the additional charge for a separate irrigation meter, and you put in a 1-inch meter, well, you're paying a little bit more, but you get, instead of just 4,000 gallons like the cottage owners have on the 5/8 meters, you get 6,000 gallons. Now, if you take and you figure out what the cottage owner with a 5/8 meter pays and add the extra 2,000 gallons at, it's pushing $10 a thousand, right? The 5/8 meter, the 1-inch meter is still cheaper. It won't be anymore. The only thing that I saw that it might be a little bit heavy on the 1-inch meters, a little bit, but very little. But then we have to look at the infrastructure. This is not a cottage community. We don't live in Bayview. We don't live in Los Fresnos. We don't, next time you drive across the bridge, tell us we live in a cottage community. We don't.
And
Here's an example. I have the floor, sir.
Yes,
Excuse
sir.
me.
Yes, sir.
Out in front of Isla Grande, there's a lift station. We spent close to $1 million. Am I correct, Charles?
Yes.
Completely redoing that lift station because it's too small. It wasn't up to capacity, right? That's lift station number 19. Our electric bill on that lift station last month was $1,000 for the electricity alone. I live over here on the deep water hotel and everything, and there's quite a few wealthy people live up there, you know. Our lift station is number 50, and our lift station electric bill was $180. I'll rest my case. That's all. I could take this on forever, but I won't. I yield to the chairman.
Yes, sir. I just want to also announce that these rate increases on larger meters still puts us well under what other entities are doing up the coast as far as in Corpus Christi, Rockport, Fulton, and Galveston.
Right.
And that's what we need to be compared to. That's what we are compared to as far as our seasonal usage. Peaks. Yes, ma'am.
Have we given notice? We haven't given notice because we haven't adopted this
The
resolution?
resolution.
are we gonna give them a month's notice, or are they just gonna get hit beginning January, the first billing cycle?
We plan to, if the resolution is approved on the next meeting at 6 o'clock, we plan to advertise at least 2 or 3 times in the paper. Make sure that they're aware of it. I mean, that's all we can do. We haven't had an increase rate since 2010.
9?
10, right.
10?
Okay, so we can advertise as soon as we approve this resolution, if it's approved, correct?
Right,
We
because
can start advertising next week.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't want to advertise something that we haven't approved yet, because I need to
I
put
just
the
want to
facts.
make sure that everybody is going to get a notice, or you're going to mail something out, or you're going to put it on the next billing cycles as this is going up, and, because your office is going to deal with the calls
When-
for those
That's
that
correct.
don't have.
When will December's billing go out?
Well, we don't plan to, we just plan to send an additional mail, just so they can be
An
aware. of it.
additional mail?
Yeah,
that's
I
fine.
mean,
In
that's,
addition to the advertising?
right.
Perfect.
So,
We
yeah,
can't
that's,
just put it in their regular,
we
Not
could,
all
but
of
it
them
takes
get it
like,
at the same time.
it takes like in cycles, like a whole month by the time somebody,
18
but then January the 1st.
So
But like-
maybe starting
Next
tomorrow,
week?
or next Monday, you can start sending
Sending
out
it out.
notices to everyone?
Right.
All of our
That's
customers.
what I would like to do, you know, I don't know, that
That's
would be
fine.
the best thing
Won't
to
be
do.
that many, Jeff, it's just gonna be the big meters. It ain't like it's all 6,000 customers.
That's true.
Maybe
Are
they
you,
got,
will you be able to break it down just on the meters that will be affected?
We already
Send out
have.
Notices to them?
Or to send notices
To
only
send
to the
notices
people
only
that
to
are
the ones
being
that have the
affected.
1 inch and
Oh.
above?
Well,
I
we
think-
paid extra postage before
We
for
don't-
errors that they made, so just let them
You can't break it down right
You
now.
know, that's good.
I would send it all out and,
To everybody.
to everyone.
To everyone, I think it's best to do to everyone, because our billing
It's different.
and letter
Advertising.
department is all in one packet, like, can't separate them.
Okay.
So we just notify them, send something like that.
Any further discussion or questions?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Wells? Mr. Thomas?
I studied this.
make a motion to adjourn, unless there's any other questions from the public.
I have a motion by Mr. Thomas to adjourn,
Second.
second by Mr. Well. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting, workshop is adjourned. Notice is hereby given of a regular meeting of the Board of Directors of the District to be held at 105 Fort Road, Port Isabel, Texas, on the 10th day of December 2014 at the hour of 6 p.m. for consideration of the business of the agenda below. This notice is posted at the office of the district on December 4th, 2014 at 11:45 a.m. in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, and a copy furnished to the county clerk at Cameron County, Texas. Item 1, the meeting is called to order. There is a quorum. Everyone is present except Mr. Scott Friedman. The notice of the meeting has been duly posted as required by law. Item 2, everybody rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge of
Pledge
Allegiance.
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 3 is invitation to audience for discussion. Does anyone have anything to say in the audience?
I do. We're gonna try to locate a photographer for pictures from the new board members, so we'll be calling you sometime, because as soon as we locate somebody that can take better pictures than those.
Jeff took mine,
Oh, Jeff? Well,
that's why it's so terrible.
I didn't have much of a canvas to work with. So.
much
All right, very good. Thank you.
Okay, we'll take care of that.
Item 4, consider and approve the minutes for the regular meeting of November 12, 2014. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Thomas to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of November 12th, and a second by Ms. Martinez. All those, any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 5, General Manager's Report.
Yes, sir. First of all, Mr. Chairman and members of the board, I'd like to mention that the new format that we have here as the agenda items comes from the Robert's Rules. You know, information that we received. So you'll see the reports first, and then the general managers, engineers, directors, and finance reports, and then the rest comes along.
Then it's supposed to be old business and then new business.
Right. Okay, then the second item that I have there, American Water Board of Directors Conference in Austin. It's going to be in December or January?
In January.
January. Okay. I just wanted to mention that we have Scott Friedman and Nancy that are wanting to attend that meeting. Is there anybody else that wants to attend that one? It's American Water Board. Maybe Mr. Rick Wells would like to attend that one.
What is it?
The Water Board, it gives you information for the Board of Directors, you know.
What's the date?
I don't have the exact date, but it's in January.
January 15, 16,
15,
something like that?
16.
15, 16.
Go to the 15th, I'm tied up.
Okay. Oh, that's fine. If you can't, you can't. Okay. So, just wanted to mention it, that anybody else, let me know. Call Daisy. Okay. The next item there, I need to have a meeting with the Professional Services Committee for the financial advisors, and we did receive some RFPs today from the financial advisor. We only received one. We had solicited to 3 people, and one responded when they called for questions. They wanted to know if it was investment funding, you know, like the type of investments for stocks and all that. And we said no, it's only for tax bond assistance, you know, advisors. Right, so they weren't interested. So I don't know if
Which one was that one?
and Jose Estrada is the only one that sent one. I don't know if the board wants me to extend the deadline. We didn't open that one because we only had one. The reason for that, because they only
How long did you do the
like
RFP
3. It was like close to 21 days what the procurement requires.
I don't think that was enough time, probably.
Okay. So I mean, I can extend it another week and a half maybe.
Usually when on the RFQs, you'd want to probably go, I would say 60 days. 60 days out.
Well, I was trying to get it, cut it down so we can have somebody by the beginning of the year, you know. I don't know. I mean, I can extend it 2-3 weeks, whatever y'all decide. But the procurement says only 21 days, so, yeah. Y'all give me permission to extend it, I'll extend it and get some more.
Yeah.
Sure, okay, we'll
It's
do.
not gonna hurt us.
No, we're not gonna do anything at this particular time to have any bond activity yet until maybe after February, March, I don't know. We might not even. Wait, like
yeah.
bond money?
Has to be debated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
has to
well,
be debated, so.
we'll be able to, we'll have more room for the revenue bond structure
Yeah.
now, so.
And that's the only thing that I just, if we don't need the financial advisors right away, we can wait.
And what about the RFQ for the attorney?
Okay, we did receive 6 of them for the attorney, and I would need to meet with the the Professional Services Committee. Once we get the committees going, it'll be item number up ahead. So it'll be whoever is in the committee, we need to schedule a meeting. And whoever it is, I'll call you guys up and let you know.
So you got 6 interested parties.
6, correct.
All right.
So, anyhow, that's what I have on that one. Then, what else? If we don't need the financial advisors or the attorney at the beginning of the year, we don't have to have a special meeting in December unless something else comes up. Y'all wanna? If something special, comes up,
If an emergency
we'll call it in
pops up,
as an
something
emergency.
follows, yeah.
Right. Okay, no problem then. Thank you. And the last one is an agenda request form. It's in there in your packet. And there's one on top of the table there. That one's when a board member needs or wants to put an agenda item on the agenda. just fill it out. I guess I want approval of it first. If it's okay, everything's in there. As a date, the board meeting, the name of the person who's requesting, what the agenda item is, and then signature of two board members, you know, to put it in there.
This is long overdue. I mean, all the other entities I've seen have
Something like that?
request forms. We've never had anything like that. We've never had sign-in sheets before either, and we just need to, you know, start getting a little more professional, so it's nice.
Okay, okay, good.
But, you know, fine, I don't find a problem.
Okay, good deal. Thank you then. That's all I have.
All right.
Thank
Any
you.
questions for the general manager? Let's move on to item number 6, district engineer report. Mr. Ortiz.
All right, yeah, the first item is water treatment plant number 2, the use of chlorine dioxide. We had got our approval from TCEQ on November 14th. So on December 2nd was the first day where we actually started using chlorine dioxide in our pre-treatment at the water plant. And so with that, right off the bat, we were able to cut down on our caustic and chlorine usage. And then we're slowly slowing down our alum. So overall, we're saving a lot of chemicals, you know, so we're saving the cost overall, I would say, in chemical usage. And at the same time, we're producing the intended results, which is, you know, improved taste and odor, and also removing the organic carbon. So we're not allowing those disinfection byproducts to form and create THMs. So I think at this point, it's working better than we were expecting. So right now, we're on a 90-day pilot, and then we'll submit the data to TCEQ and set up the plan to have it installed permanently. So that's basically where we're at right now. So, I don't know, any questions on that one, or have you noticed anything at the tap?
It doesn't smell sometimes. When you first turn the water on, it doesn't smell bad. You know, sometimes, especially in the summer.
Getting that muddy smell.
Doesn't have that muddy smell.
Yeah.
You do?
Mhm.
I don't have it.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of times what happens is that if your trap is dirty, it'll give you that smell the first, when you open it up, it'll bubble up and give you that.
I'm talking about coming out of the trap, I'm talking about it coming out of the water.
Yeah, no, okay. Out of the glass? No, because when you open the spigots, we've had a lot of complaints where people say it smells like
Sometimes
mud,
it is from
dirty.
the trap.
Sometimes.
Yeah, well, I mean, it takes 2 weeks for all the water to kind of get new in our system. I don't know how long it would be in Portugal, but maybe it's one of those spots. Because since we just barely started December 3rd, we're still kind of flushing it out and
I have no
fine-tuning
problems with
everything.
my water.
Cool. So I guess moving on to the next project, it's the Qantas pump station construction progress. And we did have the startup scheduled for this past week, but when we went to open up the VFD, we found out that we had pulled parts off of it to get the existing VFD working. So we don't have any, basically we couldn't do our startup because the VFD was gutted to keep the one in our existing pump station running.
The one we cannibalized to get the,
Yes. And at this point, we still haven't found the replacement parts or where we're going to order them from. So we're still tracking that down. And once we know when the parts are going to show, we can reschedule our startup date at that point. So we're just trying to find missing parts at this point. But that's where it's at.
waited
Pump
to
station.
this point to find out you didn't have the part.
Yeah. Well, the enclosure was closed when we opened it with with Guycon and 5-Star down here. You know, the motherboard's
Like
missing.
taking the battery out of your old car and putting it in a new one and then, damn.
Yeah, so we ran into one of those moments.
Okay.
But we're at the point of tracking down the replacement parts. We did get the actuator at Reservoir 4, which was something that had taken a while. And so aside from it being wet out there because of the recent rains, I mean, we're going to try to get Reservoir 4 SCADA set up here pretty quick as well. So that one's on track. But I mean, that's basically where we're at with the pump station contract. I mean, at this point, it's probably going to go into January to finish it up.
I was gonna ask Victor about this, but I'm not seeing you're on the Qantas pump station. I talked to him earlier, I guess last week. And you did have to pump it down because Dec10 poked a hole in our new pipe or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. IOC had our 24-inch line.
Remember we were talking about the observation of silt already in Las Cuatas when it got pumped down. Was that thing totally cleaned when they put the baffles in? Okay, but that's
Yes.
telling me, I'm old, being an old plumber, is our suction lines out at the main reservoir are sucking mud. And we gotta do something there. We're just gonna pump it down to Los Guates, and then we can pump it to the microfiltration plant, guys.
Well, no, it's coming from the reservoir 4 to Cuates.
Correct, yes.
So at number 4, it seems like we're pumping money.
That we're pumping mud to Los Guates from reservoir 4.
There's something to check out.
What does Brownsville doing with their little portable dredge?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I see something set up around Ringgold Park.
It'd be easier to get in there with a drag line. There's something to think about. Because,
Yeah, we can look at it.
Yeah.
Well,
That's what we want to do is put more dirt into our microfiltration plant so that we have to back flush it a whole lot more often.
well,
Yeah.
we have the reservoir at the water plant too. It comes in at one end and then we pick it up at the other end, so that silt settles down in there if there's any. The reservoir 4, we have utilized reservoir 4 for many years, for maybe 27, 28 years, as gravity flow, and use the pumps like once every summer just to get the pumps running. But normally we try to save electricity by gravity flow only, and I believe that's where we're getting all the silt staying in the pump station. Now that we're utilizing the pumps, it's coming out. So that's what it is.
It's still,
Hopefully it'll
sucked
clean up
inside
sooner or
the pumps.
later.
It's as simple as that, guys.
Yeah.
When the pumps crank up, it's pulling some of that mud off the bottom.
Right. And reservoir 4 has 3 reservoirs. One small one where it comes in and then it overflows to the biggest one. And then from the biggest one is interconnected to a
And then the
smaller
little
pump
one where the
station.
pumps
So,
suck out.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it does settle out, as much as before it gets to the pump station. But like I said, 28 years of gravity flow, it
Still
still
getting a little squat to
Right.
it. I think we need to clean it out. Not
Okay.
long, right, but
Yes, sir.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Anything
yeah.
else for the engineer? Let's move to item number 7, Director of Operations report.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. We just had a few projects that we had. We installed a 6-inch crossing there on the street in Laguna Vista. We have the G&T paving. G&T paving was going to pave Mesquite Street. So before they went on paved, we went and did a 6-inch crossing just for our future, if we ever need any connection on that side. We went and took care of that. We did get in 8 water and sewer taps for Las Joyas subdivision here. They already came in and they paid, so we got that going. Southern Trenchless ended up finishing up the 63 feet of cement lining and epoxy epoxy coating on manholes on the island and one in Laguna Heights. They just finished that up last week. We'll still need just one more lift station that we have pending, but they're gonna come back in January and do that one. And meter wise, we swapped 2 4-inch meters and 1 2-inch meter in the month of November. Excuse me. We've got some on order. These are a little bit more expensive, so we're only ordering a few at a time. So we're just going as we can. And we did get in about 28 5/8-inch meters that we're going to be. I think we've already got about 6, 7. I think that need to be swapped out. I think it is. So we'll be doing that in the next month and have everything caught up. And then just the IOC, just to come up with Mr. Thomas's thing, IOC was working over on a drainage ditch, and they ended up hitting our 24-inch line, which that's why we had to lower down the Cuates, and they did the repairs themselves. We had just had Joel and his crew inspect and make sure that they did the correct job, and everything was fixed after that. And then we are gonna throw a 6-inch line extension on Isla de Tama, and that is where we're gonna get again with the fences and with the city's backing us up, they're helping us out. South Park Island, so
Just take down what you have to and leave it down. Don't put it
yeah,
back up.
that's what we told Joel to tell his crew. Don't just take it down and just put it on side and let them worry about it.
we ought to be billing the homeowner for the time we costs us to take it down.
We can try to figure something out.
I don't know if I can.
Yeah. But, that's about all I have.
Me neither, but we are.
Any questions for the Director of Operations? Let's move on to item number 8, Interim Finance Director's Report.
Yes, last week on Wednesday, we had a meeting with the auditors. They presented the topics that they were going to cover. The meeting, they answered questions. And they came this Monday, and they started working on the audit. I'm providing the reports that they need, all the information. And basically, we just they told me we're doing good right now. So they have a schedule to finish the audit on the 19th, next Friday, or next week. And then
We should see a report January.
yes, in January, they're gonna provide me with the adjusting entries on the week of the 22nd. And then by January, they will provide us with the financials.
Any questions? Let's move on to item number 9. Consider and remove from the table the following item tabled at the board meeting of November 12, 2014.
So moved.
We have a motion by Mr. Thomas to remove from the table.
Second.
Second by Mr. Wells. Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 10, consider and approve resolution number 112-10-14, amending the water and the wastewater rate schedule. Any other, we have a motion to approve by Mr. Thomas,
I'll second it.
second by Mr. Wells. Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Me.
Ms. Martinez, let the record reflect that Mr. Thomas, Mr. Wells, and Mr. Keppinger voted for, and Ms. Martinez voted against. Resolution 112-10-14. Motion carries. Item number 11, consider and remove from the table the following item tabled at the board meeting of November 12, 2014. I'm going to leave that on the table.
Move to take it off the table.
Motion by Mr. Thomas to remove that item from the table. Have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Wells. All those, any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Under the question.
Yes, sir.
I'm kind of confused here because we go down into executive session, which I don't think is necessary because we are not, basically what we're doing is advertising for a director of finance. I see no reason why we should have to go into executive.
Well, let's cross that road when we get to it.
Well, it's under the question. This is under the question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because we're not going to discipline, dismiss, or to whatever. We haven't even done an evaluation on the limbs. So I mean, anyway.
That's correct.
But
That is correct. So we have a motion and a second to remove this item from the table. All those in favor say aye.
aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Yep.
Let the record show that Ms. Martinez voted against. Let's go to item number 12. Consider and approve authorization for the general manager to advertise for the director of finance. Do we have a motion?
Motion to table?
We have a motion to table. Do we have a second?
Read it.
Consider and approve authorization for, we just removed it from the table. We already tabled it last time. So it's considered, it's item 12, right? Yeah, you have to go over it. Look at it. second to table? That motion dies for lack of a second. Do we have a motion to consider and approve authorization for the general manager to advertise for director of finance?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Thomas and a second by Mr. Wells to advertise for the general manager for director of finance. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
We're advertising because we have an interim or because,
We're advertising, as my concern is that the board of directors is the one that hires 4 people. We hire the general manager, we hire the director of finance, we hire all those 4 positions right there. And at the time, the board has never authorized her position as interim director of finance.
so you didn't authorize it?
That's correct.
Somebody put her as interim?
That's correct.
I did.
Mr. Thomas, you have a question?
No, it's more of a statement than a question.
Yes, sir.
Lynn was placed intern, I believe, at Carlos's recommendation and
Because
decision.
we needed something.
And so basically, we did, when we accepted his recommendation, we did approve that. But still, it's interim. And that doesn't prevent her from continuing on. It doesn't prevent her from giving us a resume, but we are going to go out and
we would encourage
advertise for
Lynn
finance.
to apply and submit a resume for the
Definitely.
position.
Yes, ma'am.
You seem to have the upper hand. You're in the position.
At this point.
She's been doing the job for, just a comment, for over 3 months, since August the 28th until today. So it's over 3 months. And just like to mention that she has gone to training, and manager training, in-code software training, TML, for public funds.
Private funding,
Investments Act.
investments?
Yeah, public investments, TCDRS training, and just like to mention that, So-
I have a question for Carlos and Daisy. Do you have, the last time we went out for advertising for a director of finance, do you have that information? Do you have that?
I believe I do. It's when we hired Pete Capistran.
Yes.
That's when
We still have that information, just, I guess, rerun that?
It has to be in the records.
Okay. Right. Any further discussion or questions? All right, so we have a motion by Mr. Thomas and a second by Mr. Wells to advertise for the director of finance position. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Nancy.
Opposed is Ms. Martinez. All right, motion passes. Item 13, consider and approve reorganization of officers for the committee's lists. Okay. I have the list here. Yeah, I guess start from the top.
Yes,
Start
yes.
from the top.
Mhm. And
Audit committee,
write the names in
and I'll write the names
Okay.
in here. Nancy, do you want to continue on the audit committee, or, yeah, I mean, you showed up for that last one,
Oh, they told me to help out Scott with that.
okay? I tell you what, let's go this route then, okay? Let's go down the line and just say who wants to be on what committee, and we'll go from there.
Whatever is the easiest.
Mr. Thomas, any,
Just, I guess, you can say what the committees are too, because there's
we have
5.
the audit committee, budget committee, insurance, I think everyone has a copy, insurance committee, does everybody have a copy?
You should.
Annexation committee and professional services. I'm still on the professional services, I would like to continue on
I
that.
like to do
Okay. Anybody have any problems with that? Professional services? All right.
So it's
Should be
going to
Jeff
be
and Nancy on that?
under professional service, it's going to be Nancy and Jeff.
Yeah. I would like to remove myself from the audit committee and go to the budget committee.
I like to join that too.
Scott's not here.
How are we gonna do it with Scott not here?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll stay on the annexation committee, and Scott probably will too. I don't see any reason why he would
What
not.
did he say? He wasn't here, so he got, I mean, that's.
Whatever's left.
Whatever's left over, he gets left over, right?
I think he'll be okay with.
He gets the leftover.
Yeah, I don't think.
Sorry, Scotty.
All right, so, all right. Any problem with Nancy on the budget committee? No? All right,
So who's on the budget committee now? You and Nancy?
me and Nancy again.
Okay.
No,
No?
don't do that.
No.
Did you say no, you won't be on?
No,
the
no,
budget
no,
committee?
no, no.
Something
I was
else.
writing the wrong thing. All right. We're not married yet.
No.
Okay. Okay, so okay, so that's gonna leave 2 openings for the audit committee. We've still got Mr. Thomas on the annexation committee. And we've got, who's on the insurance committee? I don't have that.
I was, and Rudy was.
Yeah.
Rudy and Whitey?
Garcia and Whitey Thomas were both.
And what is the insurance? That's just.
Just insurance coverages, you know, you get together and discuss all the benefits for the employees and the cost.
You wanna do that one?
No.
I don't think we-
So Whitey gonna continue on the
I'll
insurance?
stay there, yeah.
Whitey and Rick? You want,
I like doing the annexation, but is Scott still on there?
Well, Scott's on, he's not here to say yes, but I'm
you wanna
sure
go
he
down the
would.
annexation committee? All right. We'll put Rick on the annexation committee.
The insurance and
And
annexation.
then we're gonna have 2 openings. We'll put Scott on the audit committee,
I'll stay on there if you want.
Scott F. and Nancy M. All right, I think we got it.
Okay.
All right, so
Ms. Martinez is on 3 committees then?
Yeah.
I guess it's okay. Usually, there was 2 committees per person, it's okay? It's
I don't have a
okay?
problem with
Yeah,
it.
okay.
I don't have a job, so we're kind
Okay. Just need to make a motion on the decision.
All right, so let me go over them real quick. Audit committee, Scott Friedman and Nancy Martinez. Annexation committee, Whitey Thomas, Rick Wells. Budget committee, Jeff Keplinger, Nancy Martinez. Professional services committee, Jeff Keplinger, Nancy Martinez.
Nancy, what?
And
Scott's not gonna have a problem being on this one.
I don't think he's gonna have a problem. He's got a lot of irons in the fire. Insurance committee will be Whitey Thomas and Mr. Rick Wells. Okay. All right, so do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
of, I second.
Motion by Mr. Wells, second by Mr. Martinez. Any other questions, comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
One opposing vote.
Mr. Thomas opposed.
You can make one opposing vote.
He's always got to oppose one thing. All right, so let's go to item 14. Consider and approve emergency action for sewer pipe repair on Palm Boulevard.
So moved.
We have a motion by Mr. Thomas,
Second.
second by Ms. Martinez. Comments, questions?
No, sir, we got caught with a fence down a little bit on that one, I think, but
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. All right, item 15, consider and award annual sludge management services bid SMS-14-10-23. Mr. Valdez.
Yes, sir, this is wastewater sludge management service. We went out for bids for the last couple times that we've gone out for this one. Allied Waste, Republic Services, Allied Waste is usually the only one that bids. And they bid again this year, and they kept it at the same price, $1,040 per haul. They're really the only ones locally around here that'll do that. Another company that tries to come in, they got to go through Republic Services to dump the waste at their site, so it comes out more expensive. So this time we'd like to just award the bid to Republic Services, Allied Waste.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Wells, second by Ms. Martinez. Any questions? Comments? All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 16, consider and approve abandonment of easement and replat for lot 62-65 Harbor Haven subdivision. Let's get the motion in second first
so
before,
moved.
unless you want us to table.
Yes. I got an email from the engineer, and the owner doesn't want to replat yet until like in 1 year. So I was going to recommend that the board take no action on this one, so we can get it out, and then when they request it again, we'll put it back in.
Okay, so let's just take no action. Mr. Thomas?
Well, I actually drove over there and looked at this, and if you look at that little map, like it's got lot 65, but then it's got lot 65A, well, it's basically just one long lot. I have no idea why they originally platted a easement in the middle of these 4 lots. It's not the 4 lots, it goes all the way down the street. And so I'm almost thinking probably the lots, the adjoining lots have already been abandoned, haven't they?
We've had some abandonments in that area because there's no.
Excuse me, gentlemen, I normally turn this thing off.
Okay, but at this time, you know, there's no reason not to, abandon it, but since the owner didn't request it yet until later, we do abandon them, because there's no need for the water to go back there. We have our water meters in the front and the sewer in the front, so. Right.
So what it looked like to me is he's going to maybe build some townhouses here.
That's correct.
You don't want
Yeah.
to be like that sewer line next door neighbor to me, right?
Yeah.
Storm drain underneath his house. Anyway,
That's all it is.
no
All right, so
action, no
let's
action
take
taken.
no action.
No
That
action.
way it won't stay on the table. Just take no action.
Don't even table it, just
Right. Let's move on to item 17, consider an award procurement of materials for Isla Blanca wastewater treatment plant, replacement of weir gates and clarifier number 3, effluent weirs, baffle, and launder. Bid number 1B-14-10-23. Do we have a motion?
so moved.
Motion by Mr. Thomas.
Second.
Second by Ms. Martinez. Comments, questions? Mr. Ortiz, anything? All right, very good. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Item 18, consider and approve electrical engineering design services for blower improvements at Andy Bowie and Isla Blanca wastewater treatment facilities. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Wells, second by Ms. Martinez.
Question.
Now we go to questions. Mr. Thomas.
This is nothing more than just the upgrade of the electrical system, is that correct, to handle these new blowers?
Right. I'd be doing all the civil
The
mechanical.
blowers are like buku bucks.
Couple $100.
Oh yeah. This is just the engineering, like a subcontractor. If a consultant was working on it.
Yeah, when I'm looking at the 18.5.
When are we going to get to that?
January. Right now, I need to get the permits. The permits for Isla Blanca, Annie Bowie, and Laguna Vista are due at the end of the month. And once that's out the door, then we're on blowers.
Awesome. All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any more questions, comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None opposed, motion carries. Item 19, consider and approve the financial report as of October 31st, 2014. We have a motion, please. Motion by Ms. Martinez,
Second.
second by Mr. Thomas. Any comments, questions? None? All right. So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None opposed, motion carries. Item 20, consider and approve disbursements.
Motion.
We have a motion by Ms. Martinez to approve all disbursements. Second? Second by Mr. Wells. Comments, questions?
Question.
All right, let's go with, who said it first? Mr. Thomas? All right,
Who said it first?
you did.
I
You're
thought
up.
she said it.
No, you're up.
Are you sure you didn't?
No, she pointed to you.
Just looking in here on the I'm back in the electrical. Go back to pages 14 and 15 under disbursement.
14, 15.
Anyway, we've got, if you go down the list, get down about halfway to reservoir number 3, water plant, or is that reservoir number 3 the pump station?
Reservoir number 3 is a water plant number 2. It has a new electrical, when we did the microfiltration, they installed a new meter there for that part. Am I correct, Charles?
So this reservoir number 3, that's not our big reservoir. Am I correct?
No, it isn't. No, it's a water plant number 2 reservoir.
Where's reservoir number 4?
Number 4. It's, reservoir number 4 is towards the top, a little higher. We got $292.
Let me find it.
Little higher from the middle part. Reservoir 3 go up about 6 more.
I see it, reservoir 4.
Okay,
Right.
okay, I got you. So that's been gravity feeding, and that's why it's so low. Now, if we come down to Coates, down up from the bottom, it's got Coates, 204, but I didn't see where the Coates, where the pump was. It certainly wasn't $204 on Las Coates. What is HSE pump EV or BV?
House pump BV, 2019 bucks.
That's pump 3, which is the interim pump at Cuates Pump Station. That's been in
Okay,
service
that
for the
is
past year.
Coates. Okay. The only reason I'm going to these is because when we spent the extra $10,000 to take one of our new pumps and put it in there, that was a year ago,
Yeah, Memorial year and a half.
and we have saved probably $2,000 a month for the last 12 months by that pump being in place.
Right.
It is imperative to this board and these guys out here that we get those new variable speed motors out in them sewer treatment plants. The cost savings on electricity is it's gonna blow our minds. It's just gonna do it. Well, I wouldn't have believed that it would have made this big a difference. I was thinking more from the fact that Las Cuates was running 2 pumps down there 24/7, pardon my expression, to keep
To not
up.
meet our capacity. You know.
But when you see how much we've saved, we've got to get the infrastructure of these sewer plants.
And it is in the plans for the new blowers to have variable frequency
Right.
drives.
So that's why we're putting the electrical in.
Right, and basically at each sewer plant, it's really gonna only need 1 turbo compressor, and so the remaining Hoffman blowers are gonna remain there as standby or just redundant in case the turbo compressor goes down for maintenance. And then also we're gonna be adding controls for dissolved oxygen. So based on real-time data and the aeration, it'll ramp the blower up and down.
Right,
Awesome.
yeah.
Since he brought that up, I wanted to add something on the electricity part. You got MF microfiltration build water plant, right, $3,800. And then, but then if you go back up, the reservoir, I mean, that's for the water plant itself?
Yeah, that's the new pad mounted transformer in front of that building for the membranes.
Okay, so, we got $3,800 plus, we add the $2,000, right? For reservoir 3. So really, that's costing us about $5,000 a month out there, is that correct?
Well, if you see the water plant number 2, that's $5,337. I'm thinking that's the raw water pumps, the high service pumps. That's probably that service. And reservoir 3 at water plant is probably the pump station transferring water over here to Port Isabel. Because we have 3 services out there.
That's probably correct.
So it's
$5,300.
almost like $10,000 worth of
Yeah,
electricity.
pretty close,
cost.
right.
Quite a bit.
Mhm.
Any other questions, Mr. Thomas?
Not at all, Mr.
Ms. Martinez?
Question on page 16,
16?
yes, with Orbit. 1550 is what we're paying every 2 weeks, Mr. Galvan?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yeah.
why are we paying them for a technician when we could hire one and we still be less?
Well, if we've already calculated before and presented to the board before that if you include all benefits and have an in-house, it'll be around double.
It was 36, because I did the math on how much you pay employees on benefits.
Right.
So if we're paying this guy, Orbit,
31.
1550 times, how many, 26 payments?
About 20.
1550.
Well, every 2 weeks, that's
That's
$3,600 a month.
With benefits, it was 36,000.
Mhm.
I don't know why we haven't hired somebody 8 to 5 when I understand it's 6 hours that you have the gentleman here.
Actually, he's always here 8
But
hours.
8
But he-
hours.
I got
More.
bumped up to 8
8
hours
hours,
the
yeah.
last meeting. And to get a, I think we did discuss this at the last meeting. I think there was a lot of questions by the board members, Mr. Thomas, and, you know, Mr. Wells was here. I think Mr. Veda was here. We talked quite a bit about that. To get a good IT guy is gonna be a lot more than $40,000. And I've got questions still on it. I really do about why we're doing this. I've still got questions.
Well, I really think we should go out and hire somebody instead of paying Orbit.
But I've got questions on why we need a person to begin with.
My personal
For
experience
8
here, you
hours.
need somebody.
You do.
Because they leave
Yeah.
and they go take care of other issues at other plants and anything else that's going on out there, and then they come back. And over here, there's always something going on with the computers. Something's not working, somebody's having an issue up in the front, encode is not working, they need to get him to come in.
All right, so we have a contract through a certain amount of time.
Right.
So let's maybe at that time, before the contract's going to expire, we go out and advertise for a position and see what we get and see how much it will cost us.
How long,
At that time.
how much longer we got on that contract?
I think it's a 2-year contract on that one. We'll look into it, but,
We
you know,
just
before the
renewed
time
it,
comes,
right?
Look
to
into
them,
it.
we'll
I
look
think it's
into
1
it.
year.
Yeah,
I think it's a year.
year.
Look into it, that'd be,
Well, I think
We'll look
it's
into it.
ridiculous, but
Yeah,
And do it like before their contract is up so that we are gonna be ready to,
right.
because last time we
There's
waited
always-
till the last minute
Yeah.
to approve this, and I think we tabled it. Let's try to be, a couple months ahead before it closes.
that's it.
Good question. All right. All right, if there's no further questions, we have a motion and a second to consider and approve disbursements. All those in favor say aye.
Fine.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Item 21, we're going to pass. Item 22, we're passing, so we have a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Martinez, second by Mr. Thomas. All those in favor of adjournment?
Fine.
aye.
All those opposed? We are adjourned at 6:47.